Matata looks set to go forward with Jonbon, and they're off. Over 2 miles and heading to a couple of plain fences. Matata from Jonbon, Loda Sud in third, the grey, then Edwardstone in fourth from Libberty Hunter, and Libberty Hunter hit that and had Exeter's Oboe the early back marker. So Matata and Jonbon almost stride for stride going on towards the second here. Over from Loda Sud and then Edwardstone and then Libberty Hunter and had Exeter's Oboe in the hands of Brian Hughes in the black and pink jacket, the back marker. Heading on to the 2 fences in the home straight, and Matata on the far side under JJ Slevin, Jonbon and Nico de Boinville in second place taking this one. Jonbon reaching a little. Loda Sud third, close up under Harry Skelton. Edwardstone racing between Libberty Hunter and had Exeter's Oboe as they clear the next one, and all of them jump that well. So racing in front of the stands then with a circuit to go. And given the conditions, the pace looking pretty honest. And it's Matata by a neck to Jonbon second. Loda Sud is in third place as they race on up the hill towards this plain fence. Matata and Jonbon just put himself right. Then Loda Sud on the outside, 3 wide, followed by Libberty Hunter, Edwardstone, and round the inside had Exeter's Oboe. Into the back straight, downhill towards the next. Matata on the inside of Jonbon. Jonbon going to jump this one with a fractional lead. Loda Sud not far away though as they take this one. They sail over, and Libberty Hunter slithers on landing, nose down and out of the race. Libberty Hunter and Harry Cobden parting company. On towards the water jump now. Matata, Jonbon. Jonbon touch slow, out wide Loda Sud, then Edwardstone and had Exeter's Oboe as they head on towards the open ditch, and up on his feet Harry Cobden. Loda Sud coming up on the outside there, and Harry Skelton really seeing a stride and jumps his way into the lead. From Matata, Jonbon, 2.5 lengths to Edwardstone, just waiting in the wings as they jump the next one. Loda Sud over from Matata, Jonbon and Edwardstone, and had Exeter's Oboe just getting a squeeze from Brian Hughes at the back there. Climbing the hill and on towards an open ditch, and it's Loda Sud from Matata, Jonbon in third, and then Edwardstone coming towards this one. Over the front 2, jumping it well. Jonbon about 3 lengths adrift now in third place. Matata on the inside of Loda Sud, Jonbon third, then Edwardstone and had Exeter's Oboe as they reach the top of the hill with 3 fences left to go. Nico de Boinville just pushing away on Jonbon. They've gone pretty hard pace here though, and stamina may come into play in the closing stages with Matata and Loda Sud taking each other on rather down the hill. Jonbon 3 lengths back in third, and then behind those is Edwardstone, is yet to be asked a question, heading down towards 3 out. Matata flying along going into this one. Matata will take it in front from Loda Sud. Jonbon a bit hard there in third, then Edwardstone as they run now towards the home turn. Matata and Loda Sud. Loda Sud travelling well on the outside of Matata. Jonbon needs to find more. Then Edwardstone as they head towards the turn in. 2 fences left to jump, and Loda Sud has come there cantering on the outside of Matata. Jonbon a good 6 lengths back in third place, may yet stay on though as they run towards the second last. Loda Sud is going to jump this one with a handsome lead and a handsome jump too. Oh, Jonbon was way away to the left, and it's Loda Sud on the bridle at the final fence. Loda Sud over. Matata almost gone at the last. Jonbon struggling on. Great recovery from Matata's rider, JJ Slevin. But there's only one horse in this. Loda Sud has absolutely cantered round. A great return to win the Shloer Chase. Loda Sud and Harry Skelton. Jonbon back in second, beaten about 12 lengths. Then Matata.
Loda Sud, what a seasonal return into open company. We keep hearing how hard it is. He was a pleasure to watch the whole way round.
He was, yeah. Delighted with him, obviously. At no point we saying afterwards now we had him ready for that. Yeah. You know, we did. He had a away day. He's entitled to, you know, tighten up a bit for the run, but like he ain't going to improve fitness-wise. We needed to know where we stood today. You know, do we belong against these horses, or have we got to go handicapping? And I think today's answered that question. We'll head to the Tingle Creek, and yeah, we'll meet the same horses. They'll have the benefit of a run, you know. And I'm fully expecting Jonbon to be the one to beat in the Tingle Creek, because you know, to my eye today, just looked like he was a bit
year
rusty.
older and
Exactly, and just taking that bit of time to get going. And you know, that team will have him spot on for the Tingle Creek, and it's going to Tingle Creek's not going to be an easier race than this. It's going to be a harder race than this. But we'll give it a go.
Well, I loved him down the back, and Harry rode him accordingly and getting lengths at every fence.
Yeah, forward, you know, forward down the back there, and obviously he could get in a little then because he started out a little wider. And once he got in coming down the hill, you know, we always knew he'd see out the trip awfully well, of course. But then you just want to see him just extend if he can, and two good jumps, 2 out the last, perfect.
All been well, straight to Tingle Creek.
Yeah, definitely Tingle Creek, and then we'll see. I mean, the one mistake I made last year is I ran him at Warwick, and I shouldn't have run him at Warwick. I should have gone straight to the Arkle. But you gain that experience, and sometimes defeat, you know, man you up for the next day.
Yeah, good stuff. He's exciting. Very well done.
He is. Thank you.
Yeah, and he hasn't just won. He's bolted up. That was class. Well done.
Thanks, Niall. He felt unbelievable. He's very good fresh. And do you know what, last year, it wasn't lost on him, the experience that we got him. Dan likes to run his horses, he likes them competitive, and he got loads of experience last year. But maybe this year we can, now he's out of that novice company, we campaign him a little differently. We'll go probably to Tingle Creek. Look, you know, he's done it today, but he never fell out of first gear.
Yeah. The whole way down the back, and you're taking lengths like proper good 2-millers need to do.
Yeah, and he probably enjoys soft ground. I wasn't so sure last year whether he really enjoyed it really heavy. I must say today's really wet and they're getting through it. And Sandown last year was probably really hard work, but that he goes on pretty soft ground. Like I say, he's very good fresh. But this is a great race, and not to be missed, you know.
You've got a proper champion hurdle horse, you're a proper Queen Muller horse now.
Well, exactly, but you know, you say champion hurdle, the new lion's got to go and do it as well. You know, he's got to step up to Constitution level, Constitution Hill. He's got he's got to step up. And look, this horse is going the right way, and it's his day today.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you.
Rip up everything we thought we knew about this horse. L'Edwardstone has just won the Shloer and How at 130. The Skeltons obviously felt differently from the rest of us. Harry Skelton always had him towards the 4. He jumped on over on the far side, and this horse has been a completely different animal to the one which faded out of things from 2 out in the Arkle Chase at the Cheltenham Festival. And I think you can hear the celebrations behind me. A remarkable feat of acrobatics from JJ Slevin at the last, who's managed to stay in the saddle and finish 3rd on Matata. But it is Jonbon who jumped slovenly and was under pressure at the top of the hill, who got 2nd ahead of him, possibly only because of that mistake. Nico de Boinville riding for Nicky Henderson. There is JJ Slevin giving Harry Skelton his congratulations. Well, Jane, what do you make of that? Something completely different to what any of us imagined.
Yeah, but we'll start with the polished, slick performance of the winner. Travel jump with great verve. I thought he was jumping off to follow and track Jonbon. Early on in the race, Harry Skelton decided this isn't going quick enough for me, and he jumped on going down the back straight, and he made Matata test him from there on. I thought that was a lovely performance from the winner. We'll take it from the start. We knew Jonbon was going to jump out more prominently. There was no obvious indication of negative early on in the race for him. Matata was the obvious leader, and everything was going to plan, it seems, Sam.
The surprising thing, Sam, was the fact that L'Edwardstone was as prominent as he was. They clearly had a plan.
Yeah, well, he's obviously absolutely cherry ripe for today. I'll have a little bit of cream with my humble pie, if I may. And he's absolutely jumped beautifully throughout. Unlike 1 or 2 of the others, we see Libberty Hunter capsize early on, very slovenly as usual. You named him a klutz, and unfortunately that's always going to stop him from realising his potential. And that robbed the race of a little bit of its competitiveness. Edwardstone's run a fine race, but he's, you know, the age that he is. And there was another horse in there that was having a run back after 600 or 700 days. So it became a weak affair, but you can't take it away from the grey, because the way that he's jumped round here, sat on the speed, and almost bullied the other 2. And I thought it'd be the other way around, if I'm honest, going into the race. I thought he was the one that had the questions to answer, but you know, he's put together a 10 out of 10 performance here.
He very much has. So here they are going out into the country, and on the inside, Matata. Just on his outside, Jonbon, who's a little bit careful there, and up comes Harry Skelton on the outside.
Yeah, and I was thinking Harry's just going to sit on Jonbon's boot and push him the whole way, but he actually jumps on at the next fence. Matata wasn't running too free. Libberty Hunter is going to depart momentarily, and Jonbon's leading down the back straight. You can't say that he's travelling any less than he usually does, but I just think L'Edwardstone on the day. Libberty Hunter doing what he does. Unfortunate for him, Edwardstone probably probably just not the horse he was. We'll watch it here. This is where Jonbon gets in tight, loses ground, and the grey horse just passes him in the air, and there's no point in breaking his stride. Harry lets him roll on, and the younger horse has just prevailed with a classy performance on the day. A lot of diagnostics will go into the performance of Jonbon. Was it his first run? Was he rusty? Did he need it? I think our whole analysis just needs to be about this horse, the winner, the potential that he has. Can he ruffle feathers in a champion chase? Don't see why he can't.
Well, this says that he can, I'd say. 10-1 he is with Sky Bet if you're interested. That's one of Jonbon's lesser jumps and rocks him back into third. And you can see Nico de Boinville is not happy with him. Meanwhile, Harry Skelton is going really nicely on Loderson, who's bounding along.
Well, it looks like he's jumped in the top of the hill, doesn't he? Absolutely swinging away, takes the ditch here in his stride, and it's just exemplary performance from the word go, really. Just jumped, travelled, everything you want from a speedy horse, a 2-miler. He didn't miss a beat all the way around. The worry with me with Jonbon now over 2 miles is that once something sort of comes on his outside and half lengths him, is that will to get back there, and he has to be rousted to get back into the race. He almost like switches off and doesn't really want to go and attack the next fence. And you know, Nico's obviously looked after him here, but I do wonder whether he's crying out now at the age that he is for a step up in trip. He just can't live with these younger horses over 2.
He could definitely be moved around, certainly from a JP McManus point of view. He'd be hoping he's got Marchborough potentially for the Queen Mother Championship. Another mistake from Jonbon. Factor file at the intermediate distance, and obviously I know the way you're thinking for the Gold Cup distance, but let's concentrate on the winner. I mean, clearly he was ridden like I am race fit, I am here. He's always been a great jumper, that's always been an asset, but this is a much more complete performance.
Yeah, ridden like the best horse in the race. I question his resilience and his leeriness before the race. None of that today. Maybe Aintree was just a run too far for him last year. I'm taking a line through Matata. Matata is a 157 rated horse, and he's flooring him. He's probably best at 2.5 miles, the eventual third as well. So I think it's a very good performance. There's nothing not to like about the winning horse, and he hasn't even had a hard race in the process. Let's concentrate on JJ Slevin for a moment and the acrobatics and the balance that he has exhibited to stay intact on Matata, and I do think he would have probably finished second.
So do I. I can please you with a close-up shot of that in a minute.
Please us all.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic from JJ Slevin. I thought Gravity was going to win, and somehow it hasn't. Here we are.
To try for persistence, wasn't it? I mean, quite astonishing.
He's just managed to keep some of his weight on the right-hand side,
once he can keep that right knee over there, especially with the wind and conditions as they are, that's a fantastic performance from him. But Loderson looks like he's a different oyster this year.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.